ورحمة الله وبركاته. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To the one person listening, tuned in. Yeah, just going to, what's your name, brother or sister? Yeah, so it's talking about dawah in general. You have to give dawah. Why should we give dawah? And the importance of dawah. And also the trials and tribulations of dawah as well. So when you're giving dawah, and uh, you know, there could be some trials and tribulations of dawah as well. Difficulties of dawah, and dawah can definitely, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, if you are in the path of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, you will get trials and tribulations. This is the love of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because if the prophets and the Anbiya and the prophets of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and the righteous, they were tested, and Allah tested them with trials and tribulations. And wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. The Joe Bag, how are you? Alhamdulillah, just doing live stream, so not using YouTube that much. Hope you're well. It's not raining now. I'm just walking towards to see somebody on the balcony also. Yeah, so I was talking about giving da'wah to your colleagues. In a work environment, da'wah can be quite difficult because it has to be very formal. The work environment, you have like a lot of these sort of policies and procedures and culture and these things. For example, you have diversity and inclusion, and there's a lot of things happening in the work environment. So you can't really give. It's difficult to give direct dawah to someone in the work environment, because if you do give direct dawah in the work environment, you can get a complaint. So you have to do it. The street dawah is much more different than giving dawah at work. So when you give dawah at work, it, it it's more difficult because you can just ask general questions. You have to be very cautious about what you say, because if you talk about LGBTQ, about morality, for example, if I speak about okay LGBTQ, if we disagree with LGBTQ, this can potentially uh, it can get you you know in trouble, right? So you have to be very careful what you talk about and how you give dawah. Just talk about Tawheed. At Tawheed is the most important thing that you have to speak about in Islam. You know, as you know, the Anbiya, the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they always call towards the Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And, workplace, it's difficult. First, if you give passive dawah. A lot of people, they give passive dawah, and passive dawah is basically just being kind or being nice or trying to buy your colleague a gift, for example, like not a gift, but like something nice that they would like, they would like. It could be kind of halal, obviously. Don't buy colleagues into haram or bacon, whatever. that stuff. You shouldn't give anyone these things yourself. Something halal, something, buy them something for them that they might like. Be kind to them. Show them akhlaq. This is probably the best way to kind of give give dawah in the workplace, and then be someone that is uh, definitely. Uh, Walaikum salam, Sister Asiya. Alhamdulillah, I'm good. I hope you're well too. Barakallah. Feek. Make dua for me. Allah give me tawfiq to give da'wah and to be true to the words that I say. Barakallah feeku. So we're just like talking about if you have any questions about how to give da'wah to colleagues or how to give da'wah to people in the your next door neighbor, please go ahead. إجام وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته brother إجام. Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Alhamdulillah, Muslim. We are Muslim. Alhamdulillah. Uh, so yeah, Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Hope you're well too, brother. Yeah, you know, the way. So yeah, you talk about yeah, akhlaq, good behavior in the workplace. Talking about doing your work well, not slacking in your work. It's part of ihsan as well to do things with completeness, and they'll see that after the Muslims work harder, the Muslims are more accurate in their work. They don't waste time and waste space. Akhlaq is a very is something that is very important with the believer. But akhlaq, it goes a long way. People will recognize that this person is different, has morals and principles. Do not when you're at work. Do not. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله ورحمة الله ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brother Mustafa, how are you? Okay, hope you're well. So yeah, they will see that that you have good akhlaq and behavior, and then don't move on your principles. A lot of Muslims, I don't know why, may Allah guide them, but they move on their principles. So when they're at work, what they do is that they compromise their principles. They will shake the woman's hand because, I don't want this to feel awkward. Yeah, akhi, it's haram. You can't shake you can't shake the woman's hand. This is haram. Don't compromise your principles as a Muslim. Just because there are some Muslims that do, sadly, they do compromise the principles, and it's quite sad, really, when you see Muslims shaking a woman's hand or the woman shaking the man's hand. If you wear the hijab at work, wear it correctly. Don't wear the hijab with your hair showing part, showing and your brown hair sticking out. Wear the hijab properly. Own your Islam. Be someone that is confident in the Islam. Even a Christmas party. Say, look, I cannot participate. Oh no, it's past now. But you know, part, just tell I cannot participate in these activities because of my faith. You have to show that you have iman in Allah Azza wa Jal. So when you start, you know, uh, when you start getting more, showing yourself as a Muslim in the workplace that you are more confident, then alhamdulillah, this is good. Yeah, so yeah, giving then once you gain a relationship with your colleague or someone where you have a connection with them, not everyone you can give dawah to. Yes, in the workplace, you cannot give dawah to every single person. You have to select in your mind, select the people that you want to give dawah to. Some people that you feel that they are more receptive, they are more open, they are more people of they have a softness to them. You know. So yeah, inshallah, find these people and then inshallah give them da'wah. Talk about Allah Azza wa Jalla, but in a nice place, lunchtime, break time, and you have a moment with them, you have a connection with them. Inshallah, tell them about Islam, tell them about Tawheed. Allah is one, Allah has no partners, Allah has no associates, Allah has no wife, Allah has no daughter, Allah is alone worthy of worship. And if they're Christians, just give them the message. Maybe, talking about the Quran, give them the Quran, you know. Um, has anyone ever given dawah to their colleagues before? Has anyone given dawah to a next door neighbor? Has anyone given dawah to anyone before? Anyone? We've got three people here. So if you can tell me your experiences of giving dawah to a colleague or someone, that'd be great. Maybe we can have a discussion. Hmm. Hmm. What time is it now? It's 5 o'clock. I don't know, but the Ijab, I don't know what part of the world you're from. What part of the world are you from? Muhammad Hussein, you give dawah in SSK as well. Alhamdulillah. Muhammad Hussein, I must know you then, isn't it? I must know you, but okay. Yeah, I must know you. Do you have you met before? So yeah, giving dawah is very important. Calling people towards Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we discussed before, it could be in the workplace. So that the workplace is a place where try to give a little bit of dawah here and there. Try to introduce. A lot of people there. Wallah, you know what happened to what I heard in my workplace? Someone actually committed suicide. Subhanallah. Everyone was crying. Everyone was shocked. To be honest, I don't really watch live streams that much. A bit busy, to be honest. Uh, Doing other things. Yeah, so someone actually committed suicide, and that the disbeliever who died upon kufr, then that person goes to the hellfire. So yeah, giving dawah, just talking about Islam, or just in a general sense, you know, really get that, really get the moment when you have a moment to give dawah to them, you know. Yeah, and be confident in yourself. Be confident. The main point I want to make is that when you are at work, whatever, you have to be confident in your speech. What you're talking about, make sure you own what you're talking about. Because if you're talking about something you don't understand, then stay quiet. Yes. So so always when you do talk about Islam, make sure you are confident in that aspect you're talking about. And obviously that would mean that seeking knowledge to a certain extent about about how to talk about Islam, basics of Islam, not the intricate details, things that you don't understand. Just say I don't know. The biggest mistakes that people make is that when they give the da'wah, yeah. Oh, Tikase, does that know the Alhamdulillah, brother from Bangladesh? Tikase, kita khabar. I can speak a little bit Bengali as well, yeah. And, barakallahu feek. So yeah, it's very just trying to speak about have a bit of knowledge, gaining a bit of knowledge about Islam and what is Islam and about Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is generally in the workplace. But the first point is to be confident about yourself as a Muslim. If you're in the workplace, wherever you may be, is that do not shy away from your Islam. And this is one of the things that people they fail to understand. is that to be confident uh, as a Muslim, you know, wear the hijab, grow your beard, you know, don't half in, half foot in, half foot out. Time to pray salah, tell your manager I need to go and pray. I need to go and pray salah, you know. I need to go pray salah and I need to at these specific times, you know. Yeah. Um, that point number one. Thou can have trials and tribulations. Thou can have difficulties as well. You know, if you get into dawah, if you want to get into dawah, then you are gonna have trials and tribulations, and you are gonna have people. You know, you're gonna have Allah will test you when you standing on the dawah table. You know, start. I think you should start on the dawah table. If you wanna start to give dawah, best way is to start on the dawah table. So in your local area, if you have a dawah table, if you see those dawah table, ask them, brother, can I join you? And see how people interact and how they actually speak to others. And this is the main thing for you to kind of understand how people interact and speak and talk. And then talk about the oneness of Allah. Uh, I could be potentially. Uh, yeah, I'm not really. Don't really use. I don't really use YouTube that much, so I'm trying to use it a bit more than general. Does anyone have any questions about dawah, how to give dawah, or any experiences of dawah? Anyone? Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to a dawah table right now. Some of the brothers are there, so I'm going to go dawah table. Maybe try to get into some conversations. Maybe you guys can hear some conversations, inshallah. And that'll be good for you guys to just get a conversation. So yeah, join your local dawah table, you know, just learn about Islam, learn about the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, first thing is to seek knowledge. I'm not saying to be to become an alim, you know, or to become the most knowledgeable, but to have some basic knowledge so you can answer certain questions, you know, like for example, you know, who is Allah? You know, we don't say Allah is everywhere. كل مكان, you know, we don't say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is في مخلوق, he is within the creation. We don't say Allah is ulu, he is above the earth, you know, above it. And the how we know, in the case we don't do this. We don't say how, you know, we don't. This is the Sahaba didn't ask these questions. You know, the Sahaba didn't ask Prophet Sallam how is the hand of Allah, or how did Allah rise above the throne. We don't ask these questions. Yeah, so it's very important as well to have the aqidah, studying the aqidah, being upon the manhaj of the salaf, and these things. Yes. So yeah, you know, it's very important that we, you know, seek seek knowledge as well, and you know, always try also to pray your salah. A lot of people they want to give da'wah, but they're not praying 5 times a day. How are you meant to call other people, other people towards Islam when you yourself are not praying 5 times a day, or you yourselves are not uh, correct in terms of praying? You know, so focus, try to focus on yourself as an individual as well. A lot of people they come dawah and they have very bad akhlaq. They come dawah and they're very angry people and they just don't want to. stop and they want to fight. I've had brothers on the dawah table come to me, they want to start doing dawah, and they want to fight. And they, I feel that they don't have like basic knowledge about Islam as well. The people there have they have stuff like they don't even know no basic stuff about Islam, and they're just like saying things that are completely wrong. Saying things about Allah Azza wa Jalla that are completely wrong. Trying to interpret verses of the Quran based on their hawa, based on their desire, and and and, and that's more detrimental than good. So seek knowledge about Islam, seek knowledge from books, Quran Mutla, Aqidah Wasatiyah, Aqidah Tahawiyah, and it's very important. Just building your foundation as a Muslim, you know. Uh, no, dawah doesn't have to be, we don't have to have this amazing vocab to give dawah. It doesn't work like that. Obviously, you have to speak English to a certain level that people can understand what you're saying, and it's grammatically structured. However, you don't have to speak, Shakespeare to be able to give dawah, yeah? So, but I'll recommend to make sure if you're making any mistakes, like you plural, like you make everything plural all the time. For example, if you say, you know, do you want some Quran? Do you want a Quran? These certain things, because you're giving da'wah for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, try to correct your English, you know. But many people that have a difficulty in speaking English when they're giving da'wah, it's because English is not their first language. So you have to understand that when someone's giving da'wah and he's making errors in his English, it's because English is not his first language. But however, he can communicate very well in the English languages and very complex concepts very simply, and then people can actually understand what he's saying. And there are many du'ats that you find online and whatever that English is actually not their first language, but they can give dawah very well because they can use the vocab that they have and the level of English that they have to with in a very effective manner. And subhanallah, there's many buzz like this. So, and they are very, we shouldn't visit someone in the dawah scene because their English is not as high as someone else's. And subhanallah, you find this happening. This does happen. Um, you know. So yeah, just trying to yes, it don't have to be eloquent. Just whatever you're talking about, make sure you understand what you're talking about, and make sure you know how to convey that correctly, and it's clear. And every time you're giving da'wah, it has to be, rational. In your mind, when you're giving da'wah, you know that you're making rational arguments. That when you know that you're making rational arguments, then if the person is rejecting it or moving away from the point, then you know that this person has an issue. So it's not you. Technically, it's not you who's giving bad da'wah. It's the person is not accepting what you're saying. So there's an issue with that person. That could be in his heart. It could be because has a disease in his heart. It could be because his reasoning is not there. It could be because his fitra is dead. It could be many things. If someone says, like for example, I come across someone that said, you know, um, a mother and her son, if they both want to have intercourse and they agree, then it's fine. But that's quite sick, yeah. So if someone says that it's because the fitra is not there, his fitra is a bit dead, like he has some sort of deficiencies, So that's why these people are difficult to give dawah to. When the fitrah did like that, then it's best to find someone else. Like not like for example, the the fitrah have been corrupted in that sense. It's been corrupted to to a point where if they would not accept what you're telling them because the fitrah has been corrupted in such a manner what desired in society and has been clouded by all the sins that they've been doing, all the sins that they've been doing. So it will be difficult to the person down because he's saying things that are complete that a person would disagree with. For example, incest, yeah, or something like this, or like LGBTQ people would naturally disagree with that and say you don't need to bring an argument. They'll just say, look, this is not right by fitra. Some things by fitra, right? So when they're telling no, this is okay, incest is okay, and all these things are okay, that's when you realize that this person's fitra has been clouded, and this person's fitra is we say what we see in the Data was dead, fitra's dead, bro. Like yeah, yeah, that's what we say. But like in the sense that it's been clouded with sins and evil and hawa and desire and they don't have no reasoning and yeah. So yeah. So yeah, trying to get to the Dow table at the moment. Inshallah, we're trying to do more live streams in the future. Let's see, inshallah. So it's a bit dark and walking through a dark area. Does anyone have any questions about dawah, how to give dawah, difficulties that are coming? Because just feel free to just put it into the what do you call it, the comments. Feel free. Uh, yeah, some of the parties of dawah. Number one, for example, having ikhlas, having sincerity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, giving dawah for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name the highest, and this is the main reason that we give dawah is to worship Allah. Dawah is worship, you know. Dawah is worship, and dawah is an act of worship, glorifying Allah. Yeah, telling people about Allah Azza wa Jal, about His oneness, about His perfection, about His prophets, about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Um, the one of the yeah, you get people. For example, you get people sometimes like the people they you get people attack you. I got people attacking me before. Uh, I have to kind of like the people that keep the worst scenario in Dawah, the worst case scenario where you have to react is that when they insult Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is when you have to react. You have to give them warnings. You have to kind of tell them, okay, you need to stop now. You need to stop doing this. Stop doing this. It's part of our iman. And it's one of the most difficult thing parts of da'wah when they start insulting Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You tell them to stop, please stop. In a way, I've had to have altercations with people because of this. There's one person that I had to basically he's like Islamophobe. And I had to confront him. Alhamdulillah, Allah humiliated him. Alhamdulillah. In Russia as well. I mean, in Dawah, there's like a group of like Shia or something, and then they came and they kicked the table down, threw my camera down, and they literally like They four of them jumped on top of me. Alhamdulillah, I fought back. Alhamdulillah. Uh, yeah, and for me, it's a blessing. Someone beating you up because they see you as Islam. Yeah, they see because because people they hate Allah and the Messenger. They really hate Allah and the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and then they see you, and then they see you as representing Islam, and they see Islam when they look at you, and they want to harm you because of this. Well, it's a blessing. For me, it's a blessing, to be honest. If someone's attacking me because he hates Allah and the Messenger, Wallahi, look, this I would say this is not for everyone. Okay, the default position is Rahma and Dawah. Is that you have to have Rahma and Dawah. That when you speak to people, you have to be kind and generous and considerate. This is the default position in Dawah. However, the the da'i has to do ijtihadi when the situation becomes intense or where there's a need for aggression, and having aggression in da'wah, this there there can be a hikmah in this, being slightly aggressive in your tone of speech. And that could be in your tone of speech, the way you address the person. It could be it could, if it leads to it, and if there's a need for it, then there could be physical altercation as well. But this is someone that has been giving dawah for a long time. He can, he knows how to address situations and in a circumstance. I personally don't believe that in dawah you have to be kind all the time. I don't believe that. That's not my sort of position. There is risk. Beautify something. Being gentle beautify something. In fact, some said this, and I completely agree with this. Yes. However, there are times where you have to be a bit direct. You have to be a bit harsh because people they come and they try to, uh, you know, take you for a fool. And we don't allow that to happen. I just got here to dial table. Uh, oh, Assalamu alaikum. How are you, man? Assalamu alaikum. Are you okay? I'm good. Yeah, yeah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, yeah. I was a bit unwell. Yeah, yeah. Subhanallah. How are you, man? Are you good? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Alhamdulillah. Uh, yeah, I'm on the dial table now. I don't have to turn this camera on. So here we are. This dial table here. Yeah. So yeah, do you guys have any questions or any other questions? Because Joe Baz is the only one asking all the questions at the moment. So we could try to get conversation later on, inshallah. Let's see. Actually, I'll get one of the Christians there. I don't know. Uh, yeah, there was like a protest. It was quite some time ago now, but it was like a protest, and then just jumped. I got like there was maybe like four of them. There was quite a lot of them. I don't remember. I had some brothers with me, but they didn't kind of react. I don't know. But yeah, that can happen. Yeah. So yeah, giving da'wah is very important, inshallah. Uh, Giving da'wah, talking about Allah Azza wa Jal, talking about the Quran, talking about the Sunnah, talking uh, about why Islam is the truth and why we believe Islam is the truth. Because Alhamdulillah, we have reasons why the Quran is from Allah Azza wa Jal. We have reasons why the Quran is not from a human being. We have reasons why why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a true prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and we have intellectual reasons why. And to be honest with you, I've looked into other religions. I've looked into other atheism, Christianity, Judaism, all these other religions, and they don't have no evidence. There's no clear-cut, solid proofs, evidences why you know their religion is true. So yeah, it's quite evident that Islam is the truth. Alhamdulillah, we have the truth. So when you have the truth, it's very important to try to convey that um, to to others. Um, you know, um, yeah. So do you have any more questions? Any more questions here? Um, I can try to get a Dawah conversation. Let's see. So can you guys hear me properly? Yeah. I'm trying to get a conversation for you guys. Maybe. Like a freak around. Would you like one? Yeah, it's a bit difficult at the moment. You can hear me, yeah? Let me try to get. He's no Christian. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it depends how you give dawah as well. You have to understand their psychology. So everyone, everyone that you speak to, once you start giving more dawah, inshallah, then you find that everyone has a specific psychology, and the kufr, their disbelief, it lies in a certain place. That could be because atheists, like for example, is when they you can catch atheists because their reasoning is still there, but they are emotional. So someone died in their family, or someone died, or died of cancer, or they had a horrible upbringing, or so yeah, this is generally the reason why you find atheists. Yeah, it's the atheists. You find someone died in their family, or so that's why they would reject the truth. You know, it's quite sad, really, that because of the emotional self, they would reject the truth of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. A lot of atheists as well, they don't reflect. There's a problem of reflecting. So they're not reflecting upon the world around them and existence itself and life, and the signs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives in the Quran, the day and the night, the love between spouses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He speaks about the rain and the crops and vegetation. And these are clear signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jalla wa ala, is that Allah Azza wa Jal is a self-evident truth. And this is something that the atheist denies. But the atheist himself knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. Fitrah is there. Yes, they know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. So when they give dawah to an atheist, it's it's about trying to invoke the fitrah, trying to bring back that fitrah, and saying internally they know that something exists. So when you speak to them, you say, look, Allah is one. Keep talking about Tawheed and the oneness of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Keep speaking about this and the perfection of Allah, and you see them kind of like their face will change, or like they will, you see that they it will be affecting them. And then you bring the arguments, you bring some rational arguments for the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is quite common and used by du'at. You know, something cannot come from nothingness. You know, something, if there's nothingness, something cannot come from nothingness. So this order and this complexity around us, this is an evidence that there's a creator around us, that there's a creator, yes. A'udhu billah. That there's a creator, yes. Um, so yeah, you know, giving structured dawah as well. Try to see what works for the person. Christians, that when they get stuck, generally they just say that, you know, I met Jesus. So when they start saying I met Jesus, you can't really, when they have a subjective experience and say I believe Christianity is the truth because I met Jesus, then like, technically you can't really do anything after that because they've had an experience, obviously with we would say shaitan, and then you can't really get them away from that. So it's quite difficult. Yeah, you know. This week I've been a bit unwell, so I haven't been giving down this week. Today's the first day I come out for down a little bit, so yeah, haven't been giving down this week. Yeah. So you have any more questions? There's 5 people here uh, watching. It'd be nice if you can ask some questions, or you know, want me to talk about. I'm trying to get a conversation going with someone, but there's no one here at the moment. That's the thing. Mm. Yeah, I'm just in Stratford at the moment. There's a dawah table. Trying to give a little bit of dawah. Yeah, I think the majority of people they are sick at the moment as well. A lot of people are quite unwell. See a bit of weather change. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, yeah, dawah is quite rewarding, you know. Dawah can, subhanAllah, it can, you know, when your iman, sometimes iman decreases, it rises with obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it decreases with sin. So when you give da'wah, it's good for your iman. It's good as a reminder. Um, yeah. What I'll do is that maybe I'm gonna have some conversations on TikTok maybe because I can't speak to anyone here. So if you go to my TikTok account, I might try to have some conversations there and see how it goes, inshallah. Yeah. So I'll end this now. If you go to my TikTok, I'm gonna try to have some conversations there. Yes. Okay. Barakallahu fikum. Hayakum Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes. Yeah, that would be correct. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.